Hello, what is going on? All right, I'm back with my vintage F1 projects. As you can see, I have done a bit more work on the body shell, the first part of the body shell that I started designing yesterday. Aside from the details that I've had, the main change that I did was actually reduce the length. It was just too long. It was really at the limit of what the vacuum form I have can do. I think it was 25.5 cm in length, which is really too big for you could put it on the bed, but it just wouldn't work. So I've lowered the dimension to 24.5. This is including the front and the back over here. And then since yesterday, so the shape is a little bit changed at the back, but it's similar to what I had done yesterday. And what I have added since yesterday are just details. I've had some body panel separation parts over here where you would have the different body panel joining. I've had the cap for the fuel tank, which is what the back of this car is. I've just had some little volume over there where the diff is going to be on one side with the spur gear, and then the axle is going to be on the other side. So this blue area would be cut away from the body, as well as this one. Of course, all this area at the bottom, it's simply for the molds. The body is actually this line that you see over there, raising from the ground. And then I've just added those little details of the arms for the suspensions at the back for holding the axle in a real car. I have louvers. I've had those little recessed. So this is going to be the mounting hole for the side view mirror. There's one on each side. This is going to be the mounting hole for the visor or the windscreen, this tiny thing that the car has. And then I added the detail for the dashboards and where the steering wheel, well, part of the steering wheel, because it's not going to be a full circle, is going to be attached. And this air intake, I don't think I had done it yesterday. So this is where I'm at with the body at the moment. For this part of the body, I have checked my measurements, so the front part is going to have plenty enough space as well to be done on the vacuum form in one piece. So all the dimensions are actually good now. And so what I'm going to work on right now is going to be the seat and the driver. So my plan is similar to when I have done my go-karts and when I have done the Delta Wing as well, which is I'm going to do a basic shape for the driver, and then once I have the plastic mold at home, I'm doing all the sculpting for the cloth and everything by hand. But this way it's a lot easier. I feel it's a lot more organic to do this kind of sculpting by hand, and that's just my preference. You could do it in Mudbox or another software, but I just prefer to do it this way. So this way at least I know I have basic volumes that are perfectly designed to be released from the plastic form, and then from that I can design the different clothing and shapes of the apparel all by myself. So for the seat, let's take a look at, oh, I think my Illustrator is crashing. Okay, hold on. I'm going to close Illustrator and relaunch it. If anybody is old enough to remember working on computers where you could only have one software open at a time, and if you didn't save frantically every operation you did, you might lose your work, then you're a young person. So today, my computer is not very new actually, but Illustrator is not going to turn on, I think, because of the video capture software. All right, fine. We're gonna show you from the picture. So let me get the screen back. The seat is like so. It is actually like a bucket seat alpha circle. So I'm not going to do too much detail of the seat. I think mainly I'm going to have the leather at the back and maybe a little bit of shapes on the side, but I think mainly it's going to be simply the back that I'm going to work on, and then it's going to be the driver itself. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a plane over here. Do I need? Yes, I need to create a plane over here. An extrusion needs, this is a circle shape behind. So that's the plane. And on that, I'm going to project, not 3D project, just project the geometry, and I can offset it about, it's not that small, about that big. Okay, and then I can have, all right, this is not very symmetrical. This is more symmetrical. Okay, so that is going to be the base for the back of the seat. I don't need to extrude it very much, but I need to extrude it in the proper direction. So, come on, my friend. You can do it. I believe in you. Here you go. Okay, now let's remove this plane. Okay, so I'm going to do the detail for the seat first, even though probably most of it is going to be hidden behind the driver once the driver is there, but I just want to do it. We'll see. If it remains, it remains. If it disappears, then I will have done a bit of work that nobody will see. This is like model making, you know. You do something and then only you remember doing it. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit troublesome. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to do the operation first of duplicating. Hold on. Actually, this line is flat. Okay, I know how I'm going to do it. So let's first make something at the center. Maybe 2 mm would be wiser than 1 mm. And this I'm going to extrude. Probably 1 mm would be sufficient. I'm going to extrude it inwards. I'm going to taper it a little bit. I'm going to taper it a little bit more. Yeah, that's about right. And so this is what I want to duplicate. And I want to duplicate it along this line and along this line in the opposite direction. And how many do I want to have? Let's see. First of all, I think they need to be a bit more near each other. And how many can I have? 3, 4. Okay, 4 looks good. All right, now I have my little leather shape. I'm now going to fillet the sides to make it look round. I'm going to have to figure out what is the proper fillet dimension that I need in order for the operation to work all the way through. The top is purple, which means it requires either less or more. I think we're going to go less. Okay, 1.5 is not enough. Am I missing an angle or something? No. Maybe more would work if it was a proper number that I wrote down. No. Okay. That didn't work. Let's go small. Okay, and so now I'm going to fillet each of them individually. This fillet is going to have to be smaller than the one on the top. Okay, once again, most likely this is going to disappear once I have the pilot's driver sitting down. So I'm not too worried about doing something amazing right here. I just want to have some sort of what appears to be the leather pads of the bucket seats. This is starting to struggle. I didn't realize how much RAM, I think the capture software is eating to the computer. But this is starting to have quite a lot of operations as well. If you look at the CAD file, I think it's going to be time to stop doing operations on it soon. Otherwise, it's going to make my computer smoke. All right, so let's have those fillets completed. You see all this operation just for this piece over there. So this is nothing. It's quite a lot. Okay, so this is looking pretty nice. I do not worry at all about this curvature here. I'm just going to have my pilots settled in, and I think I will do I do the hand with the steering wheel, or do I do the hand as part of this PETG parts? I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a look at, oh yeah, I forgot I can't open my Illustrator anymore. Let's try one more time. I'm very hopeful. I'm a very hopeful man. Come on, Illustrator. I believe in you. You can do it. Hey, here you are. All right, perfect. So now you gotta open the file. You're doing it. Wonderful. Okay, so that's about how I want the proportions to be. So the top of the shoulders, the head is going to stick out. This is going to be prone to decapitation, but see, this one so far has kept his head. It's seen a lot of floor actions, but it's kept his head. So yeah, I feel this doesn't have enough detail, the dash. That's why I want to have the steering wheel as SLA parts. Plus, it's going to be able to stick out from the body. But my worry is the hands. Maybe what I can do is have all that's behind here as parts of the vacuum form, and all that's in front here as part of the steering wheel. I think it's going to have to be something like that. So let's get started. So designing organic things on CAD software is really not very intuitive. So usually I'm just trying to find the best and easiest solution to have a shape that I can chamfer, and I'm just thinking about basically a building block where on which I'll do all my work by hand later on, just filing it and sculpting it. Sometimes I'll even have some Bondo or some resin to it in order to create new volumes on top of it. But you can still have a fairly decent shape generated in the CAD software that is a good, you just need a good base basically to work on. Those guys were like really near their steering wheel, I think, and they were holding it pretty much in front of their face, but that might be a bit too much in the front. I'm not sure. All right, so no, I want a line. I don't want a circle. Something like that. Probably you're probably going to see the legs, but the legs are not going to start right now. Right now it's going to be the bust. That looks about right. Probably going to taper it a little bit so it looks a little bit like the drop of the shoulders. You're not that strong. Shoulders are going to drop more. Yeah, this is a good drop, I think. And then I'm going to create a new sketch that is going to be for arms and legs. So legs are going to be, I think, somewhere. You would imagine that they would go here and there. So it's going to be somewhere around here. We'll have the legs. And then over there, we're going to have the arms. And so I think I'm going to have to do a pretty large part for the arms, something like that. And so on top of that, I'll be able to design my next part, which will be the hand. Really struggling here to know, do I want to do, because another thing to consider is inside there is going to be a mad amount of webbing when a vacuum form. When there is such a void and you have those two high points and a big void in the middle, there's a lot of material that's going to have to figure out a place to go, and usually you end up with a line in the middle. So I still think the steering wheel will be stronger as a plastic piece if it has part of the hands. Actually, no, because then I'm going to have to sculpt the 3D, and I would rather sculpt the model by hand than have to work on a 3D sculpt. So I think I'm going to go hands and arms on the CADs, part of the molds, and this way I only have the steering wheel as a plastic piece. Okay, let's see how it goes anyway. In any case, I don't have a closed shape, so let's go again. Where is it enclosed? Oh, it's over there. Okay. It's always the same issue when extruding a shape or doing an operation. Once again, it's not closed, or I didn't select. Okay. Okay, so this is the shoulder and arms. This is pretty big. This is too small. You see, the problem I have right here is this straight angle. This is not good. I need to have an open angled for release. So this is not ideal at all. Oh, I can't taper it because it's two separate shapes. Okay. This is not my biggest concern at the moment. Hey, I ask you to be 0. Thank you. How big are the arms meant to be over there? Because they're going to stick out. Yeah, I might only have to do this side over here. Okay, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to... make this angled. So this is not going to be easy. Because first of all, I have to see how much of a fillet I can put around the shoulder lines, especially. The side here, I'll be able to rework it by hand. When I have the mold, I can put material, I can sculpt the sleeves and the arms and so on. But, okay, so first of all, I'm going to need to fillet you. How big can you go? This is starting to struggle seriously. That's not a good sign. Okay. So if we have this at the back and giving it a little save just to be safe. This very, very straight angle, I do not like it at all. I'm going to have to find an operation to get rid of it. But I really want to have this made together. I don't want to have to do another sketch just for that. Oh, you can do this. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/2 of the cloth first. Oh, the inside as well is going to be a big issue. I'm going to have, I think, to fill up the inside. Let's see what happens when I mirror that. And because the inside there, this is way too deep a hole for the vacuum. It can do it, but the amount of material is going to be so little that it's going to be extremely brittle. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the proportion of the driver. There's a lot of work to do yet on him, but okay, first of all, let's go for the safety concerns, which are safety concerns, production concerns. Okay, which are this center part over here. This is way, even this is way too down. Okay, so we have separation. Okay, let's get back to this and reattach the limbs together. Here we go. Okay, so we need to close this over here. Okay, this is much more acceptable as a drop. We still have a sufficient amount of space for a steering wheel to go. I think this is going to work. So first I'm going to work out inside of the close. I'm not going to be able to have the same radius that I have on the outside. So once again, do not think about me sculpting that model at the moment as a realistic model. I'm trying to make basically a nice skeleton with all the material that I need to be able to sculpt. Let me show you. I'm going to find the molds that I have for my go-kart, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Give me a sec, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with the go-kart to show you what I was blabbering about. So this is the free model that I created for the Gen 2 go-kart mold, which is this puppy over there. And so as you can see, the legs are simply some kind of a fillet, a square cylinder. Same for the arms. The arms are simply straight lines and so on. And so when you look at the final product, hopefully there's going to be enough light for you to see. You can see all the closing detail that I have, both on the arms, on the legs, and so on. I have the middle of the clothes. I have the zipper over there. I even have a little collar. You can see the arms. I have all the shapes. So this is something that I have done later on by hand. Can you focus, my friend? Wow. You don't want to focus that near. This is a bit too bright, but I guess you can see all those. I've been sculpting it by hand. I filed it later on. I have done the same with the body, so you can see all the details for the clothing and the legs and so on. And so this, if I keep, especially if I keep enough material on the 3D, on the print, like this is a lot of material inside, then I have a lot of freedom to sculpt pretty deeply into the model. So this is what I'm going to get done with these guys. So I just really need to have the basic form, and I need especially to think about the basic form as it needs to be released from the molds. So here we go. Can I get more or less for the hands? So I get a little bit less, I guess, and then I can. This is something I need to sculpt by hand a lot. Yeah, the steering wheel is going to be. I'm going to have probably a little bit less than a half of a steering wheel once this is done. Okay, and so inside here, I'm going to have some serious fillets in order to release the vertical form over here. And as well, okay, this is great. This is really good. And this is going to avoid as well, probably, I'm worried about the webbing at the center here. Most likely I'm going to have some webbing at the center, I reckon, but if I can avoid just a little, this is a bit much. This might be helpful. Let's go visible edge only. That should cool down. Okay, RAM is back. Okay, this isn't bad at all. Yeah, so as you can see, what I was talking about for the seats, now we're going to see the seat, we're going to see something at the back, but, you know, I think for, you know, sometimes it's exactly like model making when you work for hours or, you know, painstakingly paints something that nobody is going to see on your model, but you know it's there. and that's just, yeah, it's a little satisfaction that you get from doing those things. You know, well, now you know I've done it as well, but just, you know, it's the little things. Okay, so I believe this is not bad at all. I have to do something for the side here, because this is a serious vertical line, and I really have to think about release from the mold. At the moment, it is not ideal. If I could go a little bit more, I think this could save me. This is going to be hard to release. However, everything else around isn't, so probably I can do a lot of filing work by hands once I have the physical molds. You have some really, really hard shoulders, my friends. You gotta relax yourself. Oh yeah, relax. Take Xanax, take a deep breath. Look at that already. You got good postures, but you gotta chill a little bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to place, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to place the mounting hole for the helmet. Do we have a center line somewhere? That would be the center line. So it's going to be an M3 hole for the helmet. I'm going to give it a little bit of a neck as well, because I don't like the helmets to be directly laying down on the head. That should be good. We're going to round you up once again. Chill out, my friends. Really? We extruded too, but you can't? Oh, you can. You naughty software. Okay. This would be good if we could... Yes. All those are stuff I'm not going to have to do by hand later on, so it's good to have them done right here, right now. So, as you can see, I think this is going to be a pretty good base to sculpt the guy. There's going to be a lot of work to do, but I think all this is going to be very easy to smooth by hand later on and to do all the sculpting work. Luckily, because those guys were crazy, there is no safety belt to be had, so that's one less detail to worry about for the driver. Helmet. I have this wonderful model that I get from Thingiverse of an airplane pilot, which I really like to use when I do my own projects. Now, commercially, I can't use it because this belongs to someone else, so I'm not going to be able to print it and do something with it. So I might have to do either some research or some serious sculpting on ZBrush, or I don't have ZBrush, the Autodesk equivalent, I forgot the name, Mudbox. If I do a helmet here and then do some kind of a face on Mudbox, something like that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to need something semi-realistic for the head of that dude. Okay, I'm going to round up a little bit those over here. Just make everything smooth and easy. Hopefully I'm going to be able to smooth that out a little bit. Not really. Okay, I don't want to smooth the top here. Not even a bit, not even 1 mil. Okay, that's better than nothing. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for the sculpting of the pilots. So like I said before, those super straight line over there, this is going to be the issue for the mold. You can see, stop moving my mouse. You can see if you look from the front, if we go to the hidden edges, every single edge is fairly angled. I usually use 5 degrees for really easy release, but 0 degrees here, I mean 90 degree, it's not, this is not good. So this is something I'm going to have to work on once I have the model in hand, the SLA parts. I think it's just going to be a matter of filing it down by hand. So I'm going to keep the pilot as a solid piece, and this way I can really remove material physically once I have the mold. And it's the same for all those parts over there. I think I'm going to try to do all this work by hand later on. It's easier as well to do more organic things directly by hand, for me at least. Where I come from, it's all ceramic making and sculptures by hand, so I just feel more comfortable doing it this way. And everything else is going to be good because this is all mechanical parts and shaped parts, so all this is going to be nice. It's going to be a little bit of smoothing to do on the mold by hands over there for those lines, but this is really an easy work. And I am done for the first part of the body. So next part is going to be the front. I'm still debating, do I do the bonnet and the front and another part inside for the motor? Or do I do what I said before, which is part at the bottom here with the motor and then the radiator in the front, and then the hood on top of it as a third part? Let me know. What do you think? And if one of you, of the 3 people watching it, reply to me, then I'll have one more opinion. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Nothing much to report. I'm not trying to really, teach the use of the software. If anything, I'm just trying to share like the process for me of creating those designs that I make for SD racing, and hopefully at the same time then people can just figure out like, oh, I've never seen that technique before, or this might be a quicker way to do this and that. And yeah, look at how much this is going to hang from the back. This is insane. I'm going to have to do some part. This is going to be a 1.8 car. It's not going to be a 1.10 car when it's out. This is going to be a very long model. The one I have already, this is big. I think this is 1.10 compared to the real thing. This thing is really going to be out of this world when it's out. So that might have space to do a big plastic diffuser at the rear. You see I've created those 2 holes to put a diffuser, like I've done one over here, but this one is attached to the pod, so it's not really part of the chassis here. So this time I might be able to do a very long plastic parts that goes all the way to the back. It cannot hold the body because the body needs to move and lets the pods move up and down and freely like that. So that's why as well I have those large openings over here on each side, is because the body needs to let the chassis move up and down. And so this, if I do something like this that goes inside the body that can still move, then that might be cool. I'm gonna have to take a look at what the car looked like from beneath. I might be able to do a fuel tank or some kind of pipe structure, tube structure, chassis structure, something like that. I'm not sure. I will take a look. All right, on that note, I've babbled long enough. Stay safe, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.